Hi, we're the Lotts. My name's Kent, and this is Celeste and Logan. And we've been coming here since 2001, I think, probably 2001. And we had a son. His name was Caleb Tyler Lott, and he was born April 14th, 2004. He was a special needs kid, and so we had a lot of physical therapies and a lot of stuff like that involved with all that. Well, in 2008, we were going to go to Wisconsin, stay up there for a month and live, and he was going to do some more therapies, hyperbaric chamber therapy, compression suit therapy. When we were up there, he got sick. When Caleb we were going through therapies, having our friendships here and having the support group that was here, it really played in big when we were up there in Wisconsin. During one of the days that we were up there and Caleb was in a coma, one of the greatest feelings in the world was I looked up and one of our church members, Ted Beck, had somehow, I have no idea how he showed up, but he was supposed to be in Milwaukee, some crazy thing, and he delayed a flight to show up at the hospital in Madison, Wisconsin, 10 or 12 hours from here. And I'll never forget, I told him, I told him that, man, I don't think I can do this. And he looked at me and gave me a huge, big hug and said, yes, you can, and you will. And I can't say how much that meant. Well, a day went by, I think about a day and a half went by, and we were gonna have to make a decision on what we were gonna do. And because Caleb was at that point pretty much brain dead, and we didn't want to prolong. We knew that God could heal, or that God could take Caleb with him. So we were getting on the phone, and when the PT answered the phone, and I said, PT, I really need you. And he said, we're in the hospital lobby, and we're coming to you right now. We had to make the decision, and we prayed, that this is going to be God's will. It's going to happen here. He's either going to heal him 100%, or he's going to take him home with him. And so they were in the room with us, and the support with him, and knowing, having a comforting face, and people that love you and know you and have your back was amazing. And I can't say enough for Pastor and PT and Mika coming all that way for that and being there during that decision. And he did pass away. He did go to heaven. And so the part that is important to the church family is the church had our back. We come home, our house was clean, our food, we had food galore in the house. We would have never went hungry for sure. We had so much food that we didn't know what to do with. We would come home and the yard would be mowed. But I want to say that just knowing that people have your back was so important for my family and I. And I think that when you have that community and you have that fellowship, and now you have a family, you have that family that we have here, was very grateful.
And aside from all the food and everything else that everybody did, we'd come home and we have a rock climbing wall in our garage. And one day we came home and there were supplies to make additions to our rock climbing wall. So just very special things. And even now, we celebrate his birthday every year by going to the zoo. And we still have bonds with people who knew Caleb who won't set a date until we set that date for celebrating his birthday at the zoo. And they want to make sure they don't plan anything on that day so that they're there for us. And you cannot disregard the prayers that everybody said for us. Because people look at us and think, oh, you're so strong. I'm like, no, we're not at all. It's just God. And without that spiritual base and knowing that everybody's got our backs by praying for us, it's the only way we made it through.
There would be a day that I would be feeling sorry for myself and kind of mad and upset. And I would get the right call from the right person and tell me the right things. Well, after losing our child, we've encountered a lot of other families that have one, have a special needs child, or two, that have lost a child. And all of the families that we know, except maybe one, they end in divorce because it's extremely difficult. And there's a lot of just tension within the family. And we are so grateful that we have made it one. And it's not us, it's not our doing, it's God and the church and our friends and family. And then we do the race every year in memory of Caleb. And that's what our shirts,
Never quit.
Never quit. My boy, every day I would ask him, when do we quit? Because we did therapy after therapy after therapy all day long. Vision, speech, all of it. And we did it every day. And so I would ask him every day, hey boy, when do we quit? And he would say never, never, never.
He was 4 when he passed, so he couldn't pronounce his V. So it was never, never, never instead of never. So that's why our shirts are a little misspelled.
Yeah, a lot of people heard them, and it meant a lot. And so now we do a race every year. We raise money for hippotherapy, which that's what Caleb was in, and so we kind of keeping the legacy going. Anyways.
So it's kind of like if you got your favorite store and you got a friend that works at your favorite store, and so they can get you a discount, you got a connection. It's almost like even though you have your relationship with God, you have another connection with your fellow Christian friends because they got your back too. Because sometimes I can honestly say I know how David felt when he didn't know how to pray. He just groaned. And I know in my heart that I had tons of friends and family praying for me and helping me through that when I didn't have the words to pray. So it's like I got connection here, I got connection with God.